Here is me sprinting. Here is me doing some basic lower body movements like squats and lunges. And here's me screwing around on the stairs. Now, there's some unlikely muscles that are super important for these movements that we don't talk about very much. Can you guess what they are? Do 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 do. Drum roll, please. Your ankles and your quads. So over my entire career, over hundreds of clients, I can count on one hand how many hamstring issues I've found, and I can tell you that 98% of people I've seen have some sort of issue in their quads or their front thigh muscles. I want to show you guys how to prime your ankle so that we can reduce the likelihood of strains and sprains from a muscular standpoint, and how to improve your knee extension or your knee's ability to straighten through the use of your quad muscles. So your knee extension doesn't do a lot of different motions. And the one we're going to be looking at today is straightening the knee. So these muscles, my quad muscles, do that motion where they extend the knee and they control the knee out of that extension, right? And they pull the knee back into that extension. And then everything that uses knee extension, which interestingly enough is like sprinting, squats, lunges, standing. So all day, your knee extension is essentially working. And these muscles always seem to have communication issues in people because we don't spend a lot of time trying to focus on what they're feeling and communicate with them and build that relationship. For knee extension, we're going to work on a couple different exercises, far less complex than ankles, which is wonderful. Our first exercise is just focusing on locking our knees. So I'm here, I'm laying down, and I'm just locking my knees and squeezing. So all I'm trying to do is feel these muscles across my kneecap here. And the important part is that I feel tension across that knee. You can do this one at a time if you want to. I feel tension going into this right here. I feel tension going into the center point right here. And I feel tension going into the outer point right here. And specifically, I try to even out the tension across that whole semicircle arc right there. So I make sure that when I squeeze both, I can feel even amounts on both sides. And I don't stop my first rep. I don't stop squeezing until I can achieve that at a low intensity. Because you can squeeze really, really hard and get even amounts of tension. But the question is, can you squeeze lightly and get even amounts of tension? And that's our goal. So we're going to do the same thing as our side bends. We're doing 3 repetitions of 20-second holds as a standard with this exercise. The second exercise for knee extension, we're going straight like our first exercise, but then really slowly, we're going to take one leg to start and rotate in with the whole length of the leg. And now you're going to see it's going to bias this outside portion we were talking about. And it's going to travel up this direction is our goal. And just getting that nice even tension throughout that and making sure we're really feeling this and pulling across to here on the top end of your shin bone. And then opposite that, you're going to do an external rotation, but make sure the knee stays locked. Make sure we can feel that tension around this guy, pulling down across onto the shin bone, and now it's coming up through here on the inside of your leg. So we've got straight, internal, and external, and you guessed it, it's 3 sets of 20 seconds. So 1 neutral, 1 internal, 1 external, and then opposite side, and making sure they both have just as much sensitivity as the other. Straight, internal, external, making sure the knee stays locked. The super convenient part about doing quad exercises and doing this priming is that you can do a lot of it standing. If you find yourself awkwardly sitting in an elevator sometime and you want to get some of these priming exercises in, you totally can. So I'm here, and all I'm doing is I'm just standing, chilling, doing my thing. And I'm going to lock out my knees nice and gentle. I'm just squeezing my kneecaps, same exact concept as before. I'm not locking them to the point where it's any kind of tension. I'm just trying to feel the quad muscles, and I'm only doing one leg at a time, right? I don't want anybody passing out doing this. So just nice and gentle, we're squeezing the quad muscle, feeling it down the center, down the outside, down the inside, and then same thing. You could slightly internally rotate to get the outside more, or slightly externally rotate to get the inside more. And if you find that you have more trouble feeling one or the other, you can bias that and do, say, more external rotated ones to feel the inside of your quad more, or more internal to feel the outside of your quad more, as you feel necessary. Let's have a quick conversation of feet before we get going. First, there's a lot of bones. It's a pretty complex system. That being said, it feels so good to have really high functioning feet. Because there's so many bones, there's so many areas that your body can shock absorb. So when I think of the body and I think of discomfort or too much tension in specific areas, I think of it like a slinky. So if you look at a slinky, if one or two of the rungs together didn't move, it would cause a lot of dysfunction down the chain. Same like the quote, "You're only as strong as your weakest link." Your feet can be a very strong link in your chain, so that when you step, you can absorb a lot of shock at your feet, and that can reduce the shock at your knees, your hips, and so on up the chain. The issue happens when your feet don't absorb shock well at all, and then the tension passes up through the knees and the hips, and they have to handle all of that. So what we're going to go through is some pretty detailed foot priming exercises and ankle priming exercises that can potentially reduce the severity or the occurrence of sprains and strains, and also give you way more sensitivity on your feet in the long run and really help take care of your body so that we can live to be 80, 90, 100 or more, hopefully significantly more if we're around my age, and feel really good the entire time. So, with that said, let's get started. Whether he likes it or not, I have just convinced one of my roommates to help me with a partner priming exercise to show you guys, because I think it's one of the coolest ones I've ever come up with, because you can do it while you watch movies and stuff. Example A. So what you do is you get set up opposite each other while you're watching a movie, so ideally on a couch, we're both looking, at a TV like at you guys, and then we're going to take our hands, and hopefully they have toe socks, because toe socks are the coolest thing ever. What you're going to do is you're going to put your finger up against each other's big toe like this, and you're going to very gently, you're going to curl into their finger, and their finger is going to act like a barrier, and you're just going to hold that curl for 30 full seconds. It's not about intensity. This is all about feeling the big toe muscle curling down into their finger, and you're just trying to feel the bottom of your foot. It's a very narrow line, I'll show you guys later, all the way up into your calf, and just holding for 30 seconds. Now the really cool thing and the important thing here is that you do it for every single toe, and then we'll slowly relax, and then we'll just move to the second toe, and then curl, and it's always the tips of the toes for now. So we're putting our fingers on the tips of the toes. Ben and I are now on the third toe, and as you can see, Ben is applying his thumb as a barrier to my toe, and all I'm doing is just super gently curling into his thumb, and wow, that almost feels like it's cramping. So what I'm feeling right now, I'll show you guys, is on my third toe on that side where he's pushing, I'm feeling the tip of my toe is where he's pulling or where he's providing some pressure, and I'm just super gently curling into it and holding that curl for 30 seconds, and I can trace that feeling of tension all the way down through here where that muscle's helping me do that, giving me some love, and it's coming up the back of my calf all the way like that. And you do that for every single toe curling, and then you do it for every single toe lifting. So the opposite motion. So then he would put a finger on top of my toe, on the tip, again, as far as he can get, and then I'm going to pull up into that barrier. And we just do that for each other so that we're opposite each other the whole time. Okay, so I have a couple new motions for you guys, and we're going to go through ankle mechanics pretty intense now. Here we go. P.S. Don't ever put your feet near your headrest. It's freaking gross, man. So, we're here. I'm going to show you guys one ankle at a time. So we've got a couple different motions that happen with our ankle. We've got this like external rotation thing while my knee stays straight. We've got this internal rotation thing as my knee stays straight. We've got lifts, and we've got external, and we've got internal. So we're really going to draw the box just like that, and then the toes are going to play an important role for us. So the first one I want you guys to do is put it down and then gently rotate out. Now, key point here, make sure that knee stays centered and straight, and I'm just rotating the foot. So see how the knee, it's pivoting around that? We're doing same thing, 20 seconds, 2 times with the foot. Now, our goal here is to feel all these muscles on the outside of your calf working, and then maybe you'll feel a little bit through here as you rotate out, interestingly enough. Second exercise, we're down and we're rotating in with the foot. So same thing, pivoting around that knee. And this time, you might feel this arch again, but we really want to feel underneath the foot. And one of my tricks for that is actually pushing down as I rotate in. And then I'm also going to feel back up here underneath the calf. 2 times, 20 seconds each. And then I'm lifting up. Now here's an important part. Toes are relaxed for me on this one. And then we're doing the same concept. I'm going to rotate out, but got to keep those toes relaxed. I just make sure I keep them neutral. Now you might have some trouble keeping them relaxed, and we're going to talk about that in another video. It's called a focal dystonia if you want to look it up. 2 times, 20 seconds each. On this guy, I'm focusing on the lower part of this outside calf here, and I'm focusing on the top of my foot right in through here. And then I'm going up, toes are relaxed, and I'm rotating in, and I'm going to keep trying to pull up. That's really going to get this front shin muscle that we looked at in some other videos, and in through here. Keep those toes relaxed. And then we're relaxing. 2 sets, 20 seconds each. Now we can do the same exact concept, but we're down, rotating out, and curling the toes now, making sure we get an even curl through all 5 toes. If you want, you can do 1 set normal without the toes, and then your second set you can go and curl the toes, or you can do 4 sets, 2 of each. So we're down and in. You can do 1 set neutral, 1 set curling, and then we can go up. Toes are neutral for 1 set. Second set, arching the toes or extending the toes, and then here in 1 set neutral, 1 set extending the toes, just making sure we can feel all 5 toes extending. Although they may not look like they're all extending the same amount, that's okay. I've got one final exercise for the intense ankle and foot mechanics section of this. And you are going to need one special ingredient, a super shiny stainless steel pen. Now, really, you could use any marker or pen. I just happen to be that guy who's so special that I decided to buy a stainless steel one, only to realize it's a marker pen, and I wanted a regular pen. Alas, now I have it for this cool exercise. Okay guys, last exercise. So we're here. You're going to take your super special shiny pen, you're going to take the fat end of it, and you're going to put it underneath your foot in the middle where the arch is. So something like that. And all we're going to do is we're going to push through the heel and push through the big toe around the pen and try to form the arch of your foot. So I'm going to bring it a little bit back here so I can get enough arch in there. And all I'm doing is I'm trying to push these muscles through here straight down that way, over top of the pen. So I want to get as little pressure on the pen as possible and as much pressure on here as possible while keeping my heel down. It's really easy to do it like that, but I really just want to push through here, nice and gentle. Cool, you're going to feel your calves working, you're going to feel the arch of your foot working, and then we're going to do the exact same thing on the opposite side. I'm going to put the skinny end of the pen here, and I'm going to put the least amount of pressure I can on the pen, although I'm still going to put quite a bit of pressure there. And I'm going to push through this guy right here down into the ground. And I'm still going to have pressure on the pen, but I'm going to try to push to the best of my ability through here and through my pinky toe and 4th toe. Yeah, just working the outside calf muscles and up through here on that foot. Love it. See you guys later.